Welcome to FSE Live, right here on the Fremont Street Experience in beautiful Las Vegas. We're going to start the program with a bit of a history quiz. Let's see what you know. What do you think is the oldest hotel casino in Las Vegas? Well, let me give you a hint. It's not the Flamingo, and our first guest is not going to be Bugsy Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll give you the answer in just a few minutes.
The Fremont Street Experience in downtown Las Vegas. It's FSE Live with your host, Jeff Victor.
Welcome to FSE Live right here on the Vegas Video Network. My name is Jeff Victor. I'm the president of the Fremont Street Experience, and I'll be your host on this program.
Jeff Victor!
We are live tonight, and joining me to start the show is Scott Whitney, the show's producer. How are you, Scott?
Jeff, we're 30 seconds in. You are a professional.
Oh, you think? Oh,
These
yeah.
people are all there loving you.
Maybe we should quit now because it's all done.
Good night, everybody. I think that we're on. First of all, I just want to thank you for the best set.
Yeah, isn't this fun?
I've ever had.
This is great. I'm glad we worked this out.
So good. I think we should have a toast.
You want a toast? You know what? I actually took care of this.
What?
Yep, I got us worked out. We set up for the beautiful Vanessa to bring us a couple of drinks, and these are not your average drinks.
I love Vanessa.
Vanessa, how are you?
Holy.
That's a Superman, and this is a Sex on the Bridge, I believe. Yes? All right. Well, thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate
Thank you, Vanessa.
that.
What are you doing later? I don't know.
I don't.
That's my wife right there, by the way.
I don't know if we're going to make it through the show with this, but thank you very
Vanessa.
much.
Thank you.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Good God.
I see Julie and David and Billy.
I think Vanessa did a body cast for the glasses. I'm not sure.
Wait a minute, I can't. We were going to put it up here, but we decided it was too distracting.
Well, Scott, it's great to finally get this off the ground. We've been talking about this for a very long time.
Yeah, I think we should probably explain to folks why it is you decided to do this.
I'm not sure I decided. I think you conned me into it because, let's face it, I'm a business guy. I run the Fremont Street Experience.
Right.
I have a wonderful staff that gets me through my day.
Yep.
Being on camera like this is not terribly natural.
Right, but we had a mutual friend.
Yes, we did.
I should say hi to, hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
All right, yeah. And you were talking about some issues that you guys wanted to address here at the Fremont Street Experience.
Yeah, you know, we see so many visitors down here on Fremont Street Experience that it's hard to sometimes connect with them personally. And so that was a challenge that we were trying to work through with, you know, traditional stuff like Facebook and a web and that kind of thing. But it wasn't doing everything I wanted it to do. And so he introduced me to you, knowing that you've got kind of a different venue.
Well, what I kind of dug was that you were saying that, yeah, you're doing Facebook and Twitter and the social media stuff, and it allows you to stay connected, but you couldn't tell the stories that you wanted to tell.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and you couldn't really humanize all the groovy things that are happening here, and that's kind of how we got, you know, connected, basically.
Yeah, when, you know, you come here as a guest, and we have 16 million on average visitors a year.
We should talk about that.
Yeah.
That's the same number of people who go to Disneyland.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Which blows me away.
Yeah, I don't think many people know that, but so when we get into that kind of crowd, you know, when you come here as one of the guests, you see all this happening, but you really don't know how it happens.
Right.
And so we talked about kind of taking the curtain back and introducing, you know, some of the ideas and the people behind the ideas. And, you know, we didn't want it to be an infomercial, most importantly.
Right.
We did want it to be informative, but we wanted to kind of bring it down to a human level.
And the other thing is, when you think of the stories that are in Las Vegas, you know, the vintage stories, the Rat Pack, the mob stuff, a lot of that happened. Well, true story. So we were at a bar, and we were, you know, talking about the show a little bit, and a mobster, a real mobster, was there.
Yeah, we'll leave his name out.
But he was a friend of Henry Hill.
Yeah.
Which
I think he was actually his driver.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's who you want to hang out with. So he's telling us these great stories about what was happening in Vegas, and all of them took place here.
Yeah.
Every one of them. And we're like,
well, this is where Vegas started.
It was. So we're like, this guy should be on the show.
And I said, what show?
I said, your show.
Oh, we're going to do a show.
Yeah, and then we thought we might want to put a plexiglass thing around you in case he gets assassinated or whatever. But what was cool about it is it became real clear to me that you've got the vintage stories here in Vegas, but at the same time, you guys are doing some of the coolest stuff now as well.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So we're going to go to the oldest casino in Las Vegas and meet its owner. And he's going to tell us about some of the history and some of the stuff that he's doing currently to make it new and exciting. Stay tuned.
Traditional media believes that after about 3 minutes, you'll tune out. Most Vegas media companies think if it doesn't jiggle, you won't tune in. At the Vegas Video Network, we think both are wrong. The Vegas Video Network is the first and only live online broadcast network that specializes in insider news and expert views about Vegas. We combine great storytelling with the ability to watch when and where you want on your computer, mobile device, or television. Discover the real Las Vegas. Visit VegasVideoNetwork.com.
I've watched the video on that street performer a number of times now as we were rehearsing for the show, and I still haven't figured out how he does it. But anyway, this is a segment we call Movers and Shakers. And as I told you at the start of the show, we're going to be at the oldest casino in Las Vegas, and we're going to talk to the owner and find out some of the history and some of the new things that are happening. And so my first guest on the show is Mark Brandenberg. Mark, how you doing?
Great, Jeff.
Thanks for joining us. So, I think people are a little confused oftentimes about how Las Vegas came to be. And in truth, it wasn't casinos at the start. It was a railroad stop between Salt Lake and Las Vegas, or LA, where people had to spend the night.
Well, it was a railroad stop, but there were casinos right up front from day one. I mean, there's drinking and gambling from the very earliest days of Las Vegas. There was a railroad that connected here in Las Vegas between LA and Salt Lake City.
Right.
And what happened in 1905 is the railroad, just right across the street from where we're sitting right now.
Right there.
They had an auction. They auctioned off land right here that started the Las Vegas town site. And a fellow by the name of J.F. Miller bought the dirt right here at 1 Fremont Street, built our hotel, and the same rooms that he built and opened then in 1906 are still here and in service today at the Golden Gate Casino.
You know, and it's fabulous when you get in those rooms because things were different then, weren't they? The doorways were very small and the scale is different. And when you go into those rooms, you kind of feel like you've stepped back in time a little bit.
The doors are narrower, they're shorter. You definitely feel like you step back in time. Well, you feel like you step back in time when you walk into our door.
Well, it wasn't always called the Golden Gate Casino. What was it originally?
Now, when it first opened in 1906, it was called the Hotel Nevada.
The Hotel Nevada, and then it went to another name over time.
1931, J.F. Miller, the guy that built it, decided he wanted to get cute, and he named it the Sal Segi, Las Vegas spelled backwards.
Sort of. Because Sal Segev is kind of like, I get it.
Yeah, he pronounced it a little bit, but he did. That's it.
Yeah, very cool. And then you got involved because of your father at some point.
Well, actually, it was my stepfather. My mother worked here at the Golden Gate Casino in the 50s, and one of the partners at the time, a man by the name of Idil Ogelfi, had the good judgment to marry a good-looking cocktail waitress, became my stepfather. So, flash forward many years.
Well, when you say this gentleman, Idil Ogelfi, and his partners, they weren't from Las Vegas.
No. In 1955, about 22 of them, partners from the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area,
hence the name
Golden Gate, came down here and opened up the casino here on the ground floor of this Las Vegas original hotel and casino.
Yeah, now I'm not sure what they actually did for a living, but they weren't marketers per se. They did have a pretty clever idea to bring a little bit of San Francisco to Las Vegas.
Well, as a matter of fact, that's right. My stepfather liked food, and by the way, among the things that he did is he had a restaurant up in the Bay Area.
Very good.
And a bar, the longest bar counter west of the Mississippi, I'm told, in those days. But he liked good food and wanted to do something different here in the desert. So he decided to bring shrimp cocktail in a very dramatic fashion, and he started the Las Vegas shrimp cocktail tradition.
And now you're not the only one, but you still have them.
We're in a league of our own. I mean,
I don't disagree.
All the others are pretenders. I mean, from day one when he started this in 1959, it was just real high quality shrimp in a big ice cream sundae glass that he filled up with shrimp, had his own cocktail sauce.
Which I wish you would bottle, by the way, because it's fabulous.
And it is a secret recipe.
Yeah.
Very, very good. And he sold it for 50 cents. And he sold it for 50 cents for 32 years.
Good grief.
Yeah, that's what I said when I first started buying out the partners in 1990, because I started buying out the partners who had aged at that time, and banks are still giving money to people. And
it's hard to make money on that, isn't it?
It is. It's hard to make money on shrimp cocktail. We were losing a couple $100,000 a year when I got here.
Yeah.
So I had to bite the bullet and be the bad guy, and I raised the price all the way to 99 cents.
All the way to 99 cents.
But that's where the tradition started, is right here at the Golden Gate.
And you worked here as a child, I guess, at some point, didn't you?
I did.
What did you do?
I started off doing mopping the basement, bus boy when I was in junior high school. Best job I ever had was parking cars, actually, because I got off at 10 o'clock at night with tip money in my pocket, and I was a minor, but I'd hit the strip and play around a little bit.
So all that covers kind of the old and now the new. You've changed things in the casino, and then you've just had this major expansion of hotel rooms.
I'm glad you described it as a major expansion, because as we've had to explain to people, this is, without doubt, the smallest expansion in recent Las Vegas history, actually. Our hotel had 106 rooms.
Yep.
And we added 16 rooms.
Woo-hoo!
I like to say, not 1,600, not 60, 1-6. We added 16 rooms, but they're very nice rooms. They're real high class.
I've been inside them. They are just tremendous. In fact, that your designers, their abilities kind of eclipse just 16 rooms.
Yeah, there's a little irony there. And trying to figure out who to go to, we wind up going with Gensler Architects, who are the architects for City Center, which was an $8 billion, 6,000 room, project, the biggest private development project in the history of the United States. Yeah. And we brought them down here to do our 16-room expansion.
Well, I'll tell you, they did a fabulous job, and it looks. You just have to be inside there to understand.
Well, that's right. You do need to see it, because the key to it was. We've talked a little bit about our history, and you walk in the door, you do step back in time, and we were here again when Las Vegas started. We were here through the Roaring '20s. We were here when the Rat Pack was here. Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, all drank here. They played here. We've got all that history at the Golden Gate, but Las Vegas has always been about cutting edge, contemporary feel, and we wanted to freshen things up and have a fresh feel, but still preserve that character. And so how do you fuse those characteristics together? All I can tell you is it worked, and it just worked beautifully well.
Yeah, it's great. And so we met the lovely Vanessa. My gosh, that's a fabulous treat to start the show with. But you have lovely women like that throughout the casino floor now, and what is it that they do?
Well, we'll start with Vanessa. Vanessa is one of our beautiful dancing bartenders. Here, it brought you the Superman drink with all the great colors in our original patented bikini frozen beverage glass.
Right.
So she dances and serves drinks outside. Inside we have dancing dealers, all who are dressed in sort of a flapper style fringe dancing dresses. So they're a little contemporary. They're a little bit of Roaring '20s.
And you do contemporary music.
We do contemporary music. The place really rocks.
Yeah.
And I want to get back to Vanessa and our bar outside to talk a little bit about a couple of other things that we've done here lately, because we're the most historic casino, but we also want to go cutting edge with technology.
Right.
So our outside bar is the only bar in Las Vegas to have geothermal refrigeration to keep those frozen drinks frozen.
And I know this story. When we say geothermal, you went down in the parking lot out back, and drilled holes in the ground. How many and how deep?
10 wells, each 475 feet deep. And that was important, frankly, because in the summer it gets hot here.
Yeah, it gets
so
hot
when you're
here.
serving frozen drinks and cold beer outside in 114-degree weather.
So then you pump water through tubes down there and it comes back cold, and that's what keeps the frozen ice stuff working.
So that's a unique application here. But we were also had the first Gen-Tech energy generating elevator in the state of Nevada. It was the 16th in the world. We were the first casino in Nevada to have HD surveillance. So you come down here, you got a lot of new stuff, you got a lot of old stuff. Our building, when you take a look at it here, I mean, this is the original, the classic building here. The original structure is still here. And we kind of restored some of that by removing a little bit of the facade and taking it down to what it first looked like. But then we added on some contemporary high-tech LED lights.
Right.
So again, we put new stuff and old stuff.
So let's go back to the old as we kind of wrap up the segment here. As you think about the number of things that there are to see and do inside the Golden Gate, is there something in particular that you would want to make sure a guest came through that they saw that they might otherwise miss if they didn't know?
Yeah, there really is. Again, when you walk in our building, you'll see and feel a difference. It's unlike any other place in town. But what I really like for people to do is go back to our hotel lobby where we have a display with some of the original artifacts from this hotel. And that includes the original gaming ledger from 1907. It shows like on one day the casino won $18. On the next day they lost $5.50. And the same for the 21 game and the poker game. And they have the original hotel ledger. And the first telephone in Las Vegas was here too, by the way.
Right.
1907 was installed here at our hotel.
Yep.
The telephone number was 1.
Yep.
And we have an original, authentic 1907 Kellogg on display. It's one of the old crank telephones that you had to crank to get a signal. So I think if you see that, and there are other fun things, it's pretty cool.
You know, now that the viewers know about what they need to come down and see, I'm sure they will. And so you wanted to give them a little bit of love when they do. You offered up a gift if they come down and see you.
I do. Anybody that comes down here to the Golden Gate, go to our club 1906 for the year that we opened and say FSE Live, and we'll give you a free drink at our barrel well drinks and draft beer, plus a free souvenir T-shirt.
Does that start tonight? Because I'm going to go right after the show.
Starts tonight. Starts right now and runs through October 30th, day before Halloween.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
Right.
You know, there's so many wonderful things to do down here. Golden Gate is definitely one of them. You want to check them out at goldengatecasinos.com and then make your way down here. Good times always. You know, so much of my time and my job is spent behind a desk, you know, staring at a computer, reading and writing contracts. There are sometimes I just need to get out of the office and away from the BS. And, of course, I mean business stuff. And so it's always a thrill for me to go down on the street and meet some of the folks that come out to visit us. For this show, I sent Michael down to do a little recording the other night, and I usually start the conversation with, "Hey, where are you from?"
Don't let him hold the mic. It is connected. We wanted the really attractive people. That's why we skipped everybody else.
Well, there you go. You get a big go on that one then. My name's Gary. I'm from Perth, Western Australia.
And I'm Sonia from Perth, Western Australia as well.
This is my third. This is her first.
My first.
You've been here without.
Yeah.
Oh. So had you ever been to Fremont Street before?
But what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Oh, we'll have to use that. And what was your first impression when you saw the biggest TV on the planet?
Oh, it's fantastic. Love the lights, everything. Yeah, it's great.
How long is your visit for? How long are you guys in Las Vegas?
We fly out tomorrow.
Your last night here, you wanted to make it extra special.
Yeah.
And how long have you been here? How long has your visit?
We arrived yesterday morning.
You're in Las Vegas. You flew from Australia for 2 nights.
No. We went from Australia to Dubai, then to New York, Las Vegas, and then to LA.
World travelers. This is the highlight of your trip, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
What's been your favorite thing so far about Fremont Street?
This thing right above our heads.
The Viva Vision screen,
Yeah.
the biggest television on the planet.
Have you
bought
a drink yet?
No.
No. Well, you want to buy us a drink?
We found the only Australians in Las Vegas who have not had a drink yet today. Wonderful. Jeff Victor is our president, the president of the Fremont Street Experience. If he was standing here right now, And if you could ask him one question, is there anything?
Why don't you take this idea into Australia? This would be fantastic if you could bring it to Australia.
All right, there you go. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
She'll have a vodka lime potato.
About 16% of all the visitors to Las Vegas are coming to us from an international destination. Many of them are from Australia. I've met a lot of them. I've never met one that hasn't had a drink at that time of night. So I'm not sure if he's being straightforward or not. But yeah, you know, this Viva Vision canopy is the largest in the world. It's the largest television screen in the world. It's 5 football fields long. It was built back in 1995 and then later upgraded in 2004 to LED. I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you here, but it's 12.5 million lights, 550,000 watts of sound. And so if Australia, you are willing to write the check, you can have one of these too.
It's time again for OctoberFrightfest! That's right, Drac. It's Fremont Street's yearly OctoberFest and Halloween celebration, brought to you by Captain Morgan Black. Party with us with Zombie Rising, the return of Frankensteins, and new this year, Drac and the Vamps. Test your courage in the Asylum Haunted House here at Fremont Street Experience, downtown Las Vegas.
So the point of the show is to connect with you, and we hope that you will. And so you can do that a variety of ways. You can go to us on email at FSE@VegasVideoNetwork.com, or if you want to hear your voice someday on our program, you can go to the Vegas Video Network website, click on the red box on the side, have a microphone ready, hit start recording, send us a question, and we'll play it on a future show. Of course, you may see that we'll have live chats coming into the show on occasion. We encourage you to do just that. If you're not watching us live, however, you can catch us after the fact at Vegas Video Network. You can catch us on iTunes, VegasExperience.com, YouTube, Roku, and every Saturday afternoon at noon on KSHP 1400 AM. I often get calls from folks saying, hey, we want to come down there tonight. Me and some friends or me and some family want to know what there is to do special tonight. Well, the list of things to do on Fremont Street and downtown is enormous, and so in a quick response, I try and narrow it down to a few things that we call our best bets. And to help me go through that, because I don't have the brain for details, I've got today with us Tom Bruni. He's our marketing director at Fremont Street Experience, and he's going to help shore me up with some details. Tom, thanks for joining us.
Great to be here.
Well, you know, we're right in the middle of October here, and, you know, Halloween is just a one-night event, but, you know, we love Halloween so much that we wanted to do something more with it. And so looking back a few years, we brainstormed as an executive team and came up with a harebrained idea.
Well, the harebrained idea was to expand October into a month-long event. And so we took Oktoberfest, which is a German beer festival, and Halloween and combined it, and we came up with OctoberFrightfest. So 31 days of beer and spook fun.
Yeah, we just Frankenstein two of my favorite things together, Halloween and beer, and we've been doing that for, what now, 4 years?
This is the 4th year,
Jeez.
And we actually have a themed production show called Frank and the Steins.
It seemed clever at the time, didn't it, to call a show that?
It is, and I know you like sexy vampires, so
yep.
This year we added a second production show, Drac and the Vamps, and those two shows are nightly here on 1st and 3rd Street stages. And then on this stage where we're sitting on right now, we have Zombie Rising. Yep. So you can come down and hear classic Gothic rock, Oingo Boingo, we all know Black Sabbath.
So the first two shows that you mentioned, these are production shows, which if you're not in the business might not mean a lot. We're really talking about the kind of show that you'd see on a cruise ship where they're singing and dancing and choreography and costume changes and all that kind of stuff. And the hours change day to day and night to night, but all that information is available
on VegasExperience.com.
Right.
Frank and the Steins do 3 shows a night at 8, 9, and 10. Drac and the Vamps at 11, 12, and 1.
Yep. And then, of course, it wouldn't be Halloween if we didn't have a haunted house. And so I said, go out and find the best. And I know you don't like haunted houses, so it was easy for me to say, go find the one that you would least likely want to go through. And and you came back with the Asylum.
The Asylum has been the top haunt in Las Vegas for the last 13 years, so we approached them and said, would you consider moving it downtown this year and being part of OctoberFrightfest? They agreed to do that. It's set up at 3rd Street North between Fremont and Ogden. It's only $15, $12 for locals if you have a Nevada ID, and it's open 6:30 to midnight.
And of course, the greatest thing about Halloween is Halloween night. And down here on Fremont Street, it is absolutely extraordinary. How would you describe to somebody that hasn't been here what it's like?
Our motto is to throw a party every night on Fremont Street, but on Halloween night, it's extraordinary. It's 25,000 people, and 95% of them are dressed up in costumes.
Yeah.
So it is human zoo on parade in costume.
That's fabulous. Well, thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. I need somebody to shore me up on all those details. So come down. We've got 2 production shows. We've got a full-on band show. We've got a haunted house. We have special programming up here on the Viva Vision canopy. And, of course, you don't want to miss being down here with all the craziness on Halloween. So we called the show FSE Live, obviously named after Fremont Street Experience, but there's so much more to do downtown that we wanted to make sure that we included some of the neighbors, and so we're calling this Meet the Neighbor. And so joining us for the first time tonight, well, actually before I get to that, one thing that drives me crazy about TV these days is every single morning I turn on, there's a program talking about food and health and the connection between the two. It's actually too much. I'm tired of it. In fact, I'm not the only one, and there's a gentleman down here that joined us that is doing a little bit about it, and he's got a bit of a cause here. And so from the Heart Attack Grill right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street, we have the incomparable Dr. John. Well, how are you, sir? Good to see you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It's great to be here. Speaking of a mission, speaking of what we do at the Heart Attack Grill, we are going to, right here in this community, eradicate anorexia.
I think it's a problem.
We're going to wipe that disease out. We're going to do it with burgers so big. And in fact, let me show you what we serve at the Heart Attack Grill.
Sure. Did you bring something? What did you bring?
I brought way more than that.
Oh, okay.
If I can get the lovely nurse Jazz Monet.
Yeah, sure. Oh, my gosh.
And the lovely nurse Ricky. Hey. Now,
woo, doggy.
Now, take a look at that. Now, I'll tell you.
What does that weigh?
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff. If I could.
Can you see this?
Well, if anybody out here wants to get rid of anorexia, this is the Guinness Book of World Record most caloric hamburger.
Which would make it how many calories?
Well, Guinness quotes it at 9,900 and something. So that's good enough for me. But all of the patients who come into the Heart Attack Grill receive great care by our nurses, and they're delighted to be up and down Fremont Street.
Well, you know what? You're here in part because it is Halloween month, and you and I have talked, and you kind of put on Halloween every day inside your place because this is how you dress.
Well, look, I'm the American Medical Association refuses to recognize me.
I don't know why.
Hey, Fremont Street does, and I love being downtown, and what everybody has to know who hasn't had the opportunity to come downtown is check out the casinos. Check out the restaurants, the bars. We have more fun here per square inch than anywhere in America, and I'd venture to say anywhere in the world.
Well, not only do you wear a doctor's outfit, but the nurses that just came out, that's how they're dressed inside the restaurant.
Everybody at the Heart Attack Grill, including the customers, are in costume. All the customers wear hospital gowns. If you finish one of these monstrosities, we'll wheel you out to the car in a wheelchair. Everything is designed around having fun.
Yep.
Let's forget about calories, because you know what? The calories you eat in Vegas stay in Vegas.
Yeah, and
that's the important thing.
And you have a very limited menu, and you're very serious about this. So this is a quadruple bypass burger?
I will not serve any bypass procedure.
Yes.
Whether it be the single, double, triple, or quadruple bypass procedure, unless I could pack maximum fat, maximum calories, and maximum fun per square inch.
And so you apply that to your French fries, I imagine?
I want an explosion of fun in everybody's mouth. And that's what my nurses will make sure happen to every single patient. And I just want everybody on Fremont Street to know it's not just the Heart Attack Grill. It's just not this great Golden Gate Casino. It's every single business up and down this street.
Yeah, everybody's,
we're having a great time.
Hey, kudos to you, man. You put your life savings into this, and so many other people in downtown are doing that, and that's what's making it really special.
What really makes everything special here is that people come from all over the world for their 1 week in Las Vegas. And those who choose to stay downtown, they've put a level of faith in us. They put that trust in the good doctor's hands, and I am not going to let them go home with an empty stomach or a frown on their face.
And I made the mistake of ordering a light beer one time.
We don't do light beers. We don't do Diet Cokes. And if you don't finish your burger, one of the nurses might give you pain management therapy.
Which specifically, I've seen this, specifically pain management means...
Well, they'll take out a paddle and give you 3 whacks and tell you you're a bad, bad boy.
Yeah.
Now, would we like a live demonstration of that right now with you?
No. But, I think we failed to mention that you're also a generous man, and so you will actually give away hamburgers to certain people.
Anybody over 350 pounds is entitled to eat absolutely for free at the Heart Attack Grill. We've got big scales all over the place. There's no gimmicks, no tricks. Get on the scale. If you're 350 and above, you're on the house.
Well, that makes perfect sense to me.
We treat our best patients absolutely the best because they're putting their life out there in the line. They're trusting me. And so I'm going to give them exactly what they want.
And you're also just experimenting with a new radio station.
Oh yeah, Hag 350. We broadcast live all the time from the restaurant and have a good time because the nurses like to get all that work stress off of their chest, and they do it on a daily basis. We've got a bunch of great guys working there too, but the whole team at the Heart Attack Grill is just like the team anywhere up and down the street. I mean, people have to come here. If you're not coming to Fremont Street, you're not seen real Las Vegas.
Yeah, you joke about these hamburgers, and I know you're actually very serious, but the flavor in these, the smoked bacon and everything, it's a fantastic hamburger with grilled onions and the like, and so I very much encourage you to come down and visit the Heart Attack Grill. You'll have a great time. Your website, you want to tell them where to go to look you up?
Just come to heartattackgrill.com, check us out, and be sure and hit the Heart Attack Grill when you're here on Fremont Street.
All right. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Good to see you. So we're going to take one quick break, and we'll be right back.
3, 2, 1. Oh, I need to come up with something funny to say. 3, 2, 1. Wow. But the co-host. Really, I have to say watching. Well, I'm doing...
That's how you do it. You dare
really?
watch. There
okay.
You go.
I got it.
We are the Odds Couple.
Hi, my name is Scott Pritchard.
And I am Anthony Padilla.
You're watching the Vegas Video Network.
You are.
You are. We are too.
Hey, Scott's back. Poof! Dr. John's gone, and Scott is back.
Cheers!
So, Scott.
You did it!
Is this the end of the show?
I believe it is.
That went very quick.
We probably should do that.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Good to see you. I don't know if we get...
Not sure what to do with that,
That's crazy. I don't...
That would feed Jacob for a week.
I don't know what you do with that, but I have had... I have had their singles, and they really are good burgers. Absolutely.
Well, first of all, congratulations on a great show.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
we did
you.
it. I'm very proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
You are a broadcaster now.
Well, so I'm getting paid for this, is what you're saying?
Well, can I get you a drink?
Yeah.
Can I offer you a burger?
We're all going to get drinks right here at the Golden Gate right afterwards.
What a great show.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Learned a lot of cool things. First of all, we are sitting next to I believe it's the oldest property in all Las Vegas.
Yep.
Let's just go with that.
Yep.
For the October stuff, Frank and the Steins, people. Frank and the Steins. It's my all-time favorite. And Now I know why I'm afraid of doctors. That's all I got.
Well, I had a good time, Scott, and I hope you know, you meeting some people, you know, was informative. For you, if it wasn't, then the people watching aren't going to get anything out of it.
No, it was. You got a great thing going here, Jeff.
Yeah,
you know that. We've talked about that. That was part of the reason why I was really interested in being a part of this. Is, you know, the stories that you were telling, you know, just offline to me, and meeting all the people that are here. You've got a great thing going here, which explains why you have so many visiting.
Well, that's what I'd like to leave the viewers with, is the understanding that all of Las Vegas is a wonderful, wonderful place. Downtown is a special kind of gem. You know, we have tremendous value, we have tremendous history, and tremendous people down here. We create a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of work to make it happen, and we do it because we have fun doing it. I want you to know that the people that you met tonight, if you come down here and you go into the Golden Gate Casino, you're going to likely run into Mark Brandenberg down there, and you know what he looks like now, and so stop and say hi to him. If you go in the Heart Attack Grill, I promise you, Dr. John is working the floor. If you come down here and are on Fremont Street, you're going to run into either Tom Bruni or myself. You know what we look like. I hope you'll wave and say hi. But that's the personal connection that Fremont Street and downtown specializes in, and we're very proud to continue to offer it. And so I hope you got that appreciation. Hey, come back and see us in 2 weeks. We're going to be here with a whole new cast of characters. I look forward to the conversation.
One more thing, before we go. I want to say hi and thanks to Lon Bronson, who did our music here. A song called Sin City. It's got a new CD out. It's all recorded live. The guy is a monster. His band is a monster. Thank you, Lon. You're a great guy.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you next week, or 2 weeks.